what will be that moment?
Last year, we lost everything.
The one where you say, we're back. It will look different for everyone. It will come sooner for some compared to others. To this point, 2021 has continued to bring us the restrictions of living masked and socially distant. This week, we look to summer, the faces feeling that glimmer of normal.
I don't necessarily think we're over the hump quite yet.
And the hope this pandemic could soon be behind us. This is The Race. Welcome to The Race. I'm Chris Stewart. California's response to coronavirus has been complicated. Leaders put in some of the strictest measures of any state, and that led to some businesses being forced to close. But now that some of those measures have been lifted,
it's not ready yet. Well, how about you?
It has given businesses the opportunity to reopen and people the comfort of mainstays that have always been there.
And in this city where you can drive down a street and all of a sudden a building goes up one day that wasn't there before, it's nice to kind of come here and go, oh, nothing's changed.
It just stayed the same.
Yeah.
While this pandemic may have changed a lot,
if someone's visiting from out of town,
yeah, we bring them here.
What it can't touch is the comfort we take in what we've known.
It's either this or In and Out. Yep, sorry. I don't know.
Long before. Here in LA, Cantor's Deli is kind of a big deal.
As far as the celebrities go, Beyonce was here. I don't even know where to start.
The Eternal Autumn Ceiling you will see in a lot of films that have been filmed in here. It's probably the most photographed ceiling next to the Sistine Chapel. I see it as a screensaver on a lot of people's phones.
But this past year has proven to challenge even the sturdiest of landmarks.
I mean, I've worked all my life. I've worked since I was 14 years old, and I'm 58 now. So it was difficult not working.
Greg Dovell has worked here for 35 years. Cantor's can only be a quarter full right now, but that's an improvement.
Originally, it was going to be for 2 weeks, and the sort of flatten the curve thing.
When coronavirus set in, the health department banned indoor dining and mostly kept it that way until last month. The restaurant survived off takeout orders, but many employees like Greg were out of work for close to a year.
Thank God unemployment was there. Thank God for the stimuluses that have come out.
Last week, LA County lifted those indoor dining restrictions.
It was so weird to see the empty booths.
Yeah, because it's
usually a clatter in here.
Yeah.
Frustration over California's strict COVID measures is one of the driving forces behind an effort to recall its governor.
You're welcome.
But Leslie and Guy DeVillies like their state's approach.
And we're happy to follow it.
As restrictions continue to lift, owner Jacqueline Cantor will be able to hire back even more of the dozens of employees she had to lay off last year.
We just abide by whatever the politicians tell us to do. We just follow the order of the law.
There are some things about this place, like fermenting pickles in barrels in its cellar.
It takes about a couple of weeks, maybe a month.
That you don't find that often anymore. And as we approach summer, there is hope we can enjoy those comforts again.
And the half-done pickles. Oh yeah.
The way we always have.
And just the simple luxury of being able to sit down at a table and have coffee, and it's such a family thing here, and it's generational.
This pandemic has really exposed just how many students rely on school to get the meals they need. One woman is expecting that demand to continue, and Alexa Liacko spoke with her about how she plans to meet that need.
In this after-school hangout, you won't hear the sounds of video games or movies. Instead, the teenagers here are stepping up to help out.
We are currently packing bags for the kids in Manchester at elementary schools.
They'll pack almost 700 meals a week for students whose families cannot afford food.
All throughout, from elementary all to high school.
High school junior Joe Mickle started Fueled by Kids with his sisters. The family project is now feeding students in 20 different schools, making sure lunch in the cafeteria isn't their last meal.
There's about 90% of kids at most of these elementary schools that we're helping that will report that they don't get food over the weekends.
The students here partner with counselors and teachers.
Good morning, class.
Like Jennifer Gagnon.
Hi.
Together they make sure no hungry student is overlooked.
As the kid picks it up and puts it right into their bag,
Nobody had to ask. Instead, it's just there. And then what a relief that can be.
Jennifer witnesses how tough it is to ask for help. For many parents, it's their first time.
Families really, although it's not something that they like to talk about with their pride, but thank us because sometimes it's hard. And especially at that end of the month where it's, do I keep a roof over their head or do I get extra food?
Fueled by Kids has gotten even busier during the pandemic, and across the country, the need for children to have food has skyrocketed. In 2019, 1 in 6 kids went hungry on a regular basis, but now 1 in 4 children goes hungry multiple times during the week. And over the summer, teachers here at this school think that problem is only going to get worse.
If we have an increase of need just for the weekend, you can imagine a whole summer going without having the at least two meals here a day.
So Fueled by Kids is preparing to drop off even more bags at summer camps and schools to fill the need in the months ahead.
The need doesn't stop when the school bell rings. Like, the summer is still a time when a lot of kids are happy, but a lot more of them are even more stressed about their food.
To better understand a story.
For this teacher, providing a snack is her small way of nurturing students beyond her classroom. Because despite her credentials, one title will always come first.
I have 2 boys. As a parent, I can't imagine how hard it is for them to make a choice. And I don't think they should have to make a choice. And if we can help them with making one less choice, that makes me feel good.
For The Race, I'm Alexa Liacko.
At this time last year, many store shelves were empty as COVID disrupted supply chains and sent shoppers rushing to stock up. Maya Rodriguez shows us a movement that could prevent a repeat as we head into summer.
Every morning,
we do collards, kale, arugula, cabbage.
Rain or shine.
We got sage and rosemary over there.
Tavares Robinson tends to the myriad of crops on his farm.
I'm doing broccoli this year, tomatoes, carrots, cucumbers, squash, onions, garlic.
But he isn't any ordinary farmer.
I'm actually a carpenter and a cook. I was not a farmer. Let's get that clear. I had no clue I'd be farming.
And this isn't any ordinary farm. Its odd 1-acre shape carved out of small growing patches in the middle of America's capital city.
The food goes back to the community.
The farm is part of the nonprofit DMV Urban Greens, located in the southeast section of Washington, D.C. It's a place known as a food desert, where residents struggle to access fresh produce, even more so during a pandemic.
One Safeway in like a 5-mile radius, serving over 100 and something thousand people.
This farm seeks to help with that need. In the last year, it gave away 20,000 pounds of fresh produce.
In the past 30 years, the number of urban farms in the U.S. has grown by more than 30%. And because the pandemic showed just how fragile the food distribution system can be, even for some big supermarkets, urban farming has become a fresh food lifeline in some places.
It's a growth that adds up to thousands of small urban farms around the country, in cities from Detroit to Phoenix to Tampa, now home to dozens of them. They range from small plots, known as microgardens, to several acres in size. Robinson felt the impact of that urban farming trend when he recently tried buying crop seeds.
Now everything is sold out. Like, everybody's farming now.
To help keep things going.
But in here, last week we planted some lettuce.
Volunteers like Gloria Anthony step in.
I just love to see the hard work go in, then to see the harvest and know that the vegetables are going to people that really need. And so that's very rewarding.
But like all farms everywhere, it has its challenges.
We got animals around here, a groundhog that just keep eating me down. I mean, he eat me down good. I mean, dude is off the chain. He out here now somewhere waiting for me to plant something.
But so are the people.
And it just makes the whole place smell so good.
Now counting on this growing bounty. In Washington, I'm Maya Rodriguez for The Race.
Things are slowly starting to go back to the normal we knew before COVID-19. Summer activities that were canceled last year are back. And a nostalgic family outing that made a comeback last summer is set for another busy year.
It's been there since 1965.
We're taking you to the drive-in and summer camp.
I'm like so excited for this.
To see how this year will be different when the race continues.